Yo, what up YouTube? Are you still hard stuck gold or plat? Well, I'm gonna tell you why. If you're still not tracking ultimates, you're probably still plat.
She grabbed. Oh, you fucking hard.
If you're never being unpredictable, you're probably still plat.
Here we go, boys.
Okay, just Bob, Nano.
NANI?! お前はもう死んでいる。
If you're not having fun while you play, you're probably still plat.
No, don't do it! No!
If you're not using all the available resources of your team, you're probably still plat.
Don't worry, Lucio's on.
Coming with shatter.
Oh!
Nice,
If you're not doing everything and everything that is possible to get the W, you are probably still plat.
I almost have mines.
Why am I standing next to him? What the fuck am I doing?
Oh, I'm nuts! Yo! If you are not thinking 10 steps ahead of your enemy, you are probably still plat.
Okay, what are they gonna have? They have a monkey. Monkey's gonna jump in. Watch this pull. It's gonna be massive. Oh my god. Dude, I'm so good at the game.
If you're relying on your teammates to make big plays, you are probably still plat.
Big grab, big grab. Humongous. Oh my god.
Oh my god, okay.
But don't worry, fellow gamers, because if I can climb out of the depths of gold, you can too. Alright guys, all joking aside, I do want this video to be educational and I want you guys to learn everything that I've learned to improve your play. That clip was real, I was gold. Back in like season 12 when I first switched over to PC, I used to play on Xbox, but I was only like diamond on Xbox. I'm gonna try to make this video have the most info possible without being too overwhelming, so you know, if at any point it becomes too much, you can always just go back in the video and rewatch. So this video will mainly target the majority of Overwatch players, and that group falls within gold and platinum. If you're bronze or silver, best advice I can give to you is just play the game, play it a lot more, learn all the heroes, learn all their abilities, get a sensitivity that you're comfortable with, and you should be able to reach gold with just a little bit of practice. So the first tip I want to go over is ultimate tracking. Ultimate tracking is basically saying to yourself, okay, what does the enemy have? Do they have grab yet? Have they used grab? Have they used shatter? Have they used bead? Stuff like that. It's gonna kind of determine how you go into the next fight. If you're bronze or silver, I wouldn't worry about ult tracking too much. I would just worry about, you know, getting better at the game, getting more comfortable on the game. But yeah, once you get gold and above, you definitely want to start ult tracking. Just keeping that in the back of your head. You don't have to be on every single ult, especially when the game gets close to the end and, you know, it's one fight to determine who wins the game. So it's very important that you pay attention to ultimates. One ultimate that comes to mind is Zarya's Grav. So if you think that the enemy Zarya has her Grav, look at your team. Do you guys have a Lucio? Do you guys have a Bap? Do you guys have a Zen? Anything that will kind of protect you from Grav. If you don't have any of those things, or they don't have their ultimates yet, then you have to kind of work around that. So if I know the enemy Zarya has a Grav, and we don't have a Bap, and we don't have a Lucio, or we don't have a Zen that has trans yet, then I'll let my team know, hey, I think they have grab. They're going to grab next fight. Let's stay split so they don't get us all in the grab. And this can be tremendous because a lot of Zaryas, especially in low ranks, don't like to use their ults unless they get a big grab. If you feel like somebody on the enemy team has their ult, think like, where is he gonna ult? What's he want to do? What is his next move? If I know the enemy Sigma has his ult, I'm gonna be ready. If I know the enemy D.Va has her ultimate, I'm gonna be looking around like, all right, where am I gonna hide? This is especially important for support players because there's a lot of support players that don't have high mobility, like Anna or Baptiste. If you know D.Va has her ultimate, you just kind of think about where you're gonna go. Like I like to play like around a wall, like natural cover. If this D.Va bomb comes in, I'll definitely have enough time to go behind this wall and be safe. If you get caught out in the open and D.Va throws her bomb, you're just gonna die. If your team has Nano Blade, right, and you know the enemy Zen has trans, maybe try to force the Zen to trans. Maybe tell your team, hey, let's jump on this Zen, let's force him to trans, and then we'll have a free Nano Blade that will win us the next fight. That's pretty much all I have for ult tracking. It's gonna take a lot of practice. It's definitely not something you're gonna learn in one day, but it's something that you'll improve upon, and you'll see that your gameplay will improve as well. You're not gonna die to ultimates that you could have protected yourself from. So just keep it in the back of your head, try to get better, See if you can say like, all right, I think Arisa's gonna use her ult this fight, and see if she does. And if she does, that's huge. The next tip I have is to not hang on to your ultimate too long. Chances are the amount of time that you waited to use your ult, you could have already had a second ultimate. So if you see a Zarya overextended or a chance to kill a healer, don't be afraid to solo ult them. This goes for every hero. Whether you're playing Junkrat, Zarya, Sigma, it really doesn't matter. Anybody that has an ultimate that can get kills, don't be afraid to use your ult on 2 people or even 1 just to win the fight. I'd say the main targets that you would want to kill in your ultimate is either a support or a tank. If the enemy team is down a whole support or a whole tank, it's gonna be very hard for them to win that fight. I don't recommend going for solo ults on a DPS only because you can still win a fight when you're down in DPS. If your supports are Ana, Lucio, and you lose your Ana, nobody on your team's gonna get much healing. So it's gonna be very hard for you guys to win that fight. If you lose, let's say, a Pharah on your team, and you still have both your supports, both your tanks, and then you still have a McCree, you can still win that fight. Especially if you're playing somebody like Ana, or Wrecking Ball, or maybe even Ryan. Any hero that can build an ultimate fast, you should be using it very frequently. And try to be safe when you use your ultimates. Like, if you know you're about to die, just die. Don't queue and waste it. Just let them kill you and save it for the next fight, and use it earlier in a safer position. Like if you're Sigma and you're ulting and you're 1 HP, if they kill you, that's it. Your ult doesn't go off. If you're in a team fight and your team's using ults and their team's using ults, don't be afraid to use your ults. Even if it looks like you guys are gonna win the fight, sometimes it's better just to secure the fight rather than, you know, risk losing it. Because snowballing is really big in Overwatch. You could be dominating a team for like 3 minutes into the first round. They cap the point because you didn't use your ult, and then they snowball the entire second point, and then you finally stop them on the third point. Whereas if you just use your ult on that one fight in the beginning, they would have never even capped the first point. The next tip I have is to play your life. And what do I mean by that? I mean, take a second, go behind a wall, get a health pack, get healed, and then go back into the fight. This game is very, very, very dependent on who's alive and who's not. It doesn't matter. You can do all the damage in the world. If you get 0 kills and die, then you're getting no value. Sometimes it is good to chase down kills, even if you know you're gonna die, if you know that kill is important. If I were to rank whose lives are most important in a game of Overwatch, I would say supports are the most important to be alive. You never want to die in support. Make sure you're always safe, always have some sort of cover that's natural that you can go to, always have some sort of peel that you can rely on. Even if you're not healing somebody for, you know, 5 seconds, it might seem like you're throwing, like, oh, I need to get my heals up. But if you know you're gonna die, if you peek to try to heal one of your teammates, don't do it. Make sure you live first and then come back out. It's gonna be much more valuable for you to just take 5-10 seconds, get healed up, get safe, go back into the fight, then to die completely, spend 20 seconds walking back from spawn just to get back into the fight. Before I get into the next tip, if I sound a little bit different, I've been working on this video for like a week and I did get sick, but I still want to finish this video, so my apologies if I sound a little bit different. The next tip I have for you guys is to stop blaming your teammates for why you can't rank up. I see this all the time. Every rank, really. They get into a game, they lose the game, and they say, wow, my Wrecking Ball fed the whole game. Wow, my Ana didn't ult the whole game. Wow, my Hog kept feeding. Wow, my Doomfist didn't kill anybody. Like, if you're in gold or platinum, chances are your teammates are going to play like gold and platinum players. There's a reason why they're in gold and not GM. They're not Grandmaster players. If you want to be a Grandmaster player, you need to work on your individual skill. Because if you just worry about your teammates every single game, you're never going to get better as an individual. You need to be looking at your gameplay. When you die, you need to say, why did I die? How could I have prevented that? Did I do the right thing? Should I have went here? Should I have been positioned here? That's what you need to be doing. I think it's safe to say that the top Overwatch players can all agree it's fairly easy to climb out of gold, diamond, and plat solo queue and by yourself. Not until you get to like masters is when you can be like, okay, we lost this game because this guy did that. But if you're diamond to under, there's no reason why you can't climb into masters or GM just solely off your skills alone. If you're stuck in gold or plat, I promise you it is not your teammates, it is you. You need to look at your individual play. You need to analyze every single time you die, every single game. Think about what you could have done differently. Like, talk out loud. Be like, do I want to be here? Who should I be on right now? Like, sometimes you feel lost in games. You're like, I don't know what I need to be doing. I feel like that too. It happens, you know what I mean? Even in like top 500 grandmasters, mastery. You know, they don't always know exactly what they need to be doing. You know, it's not really that easy. But sometimes it is easy. Sometimes it's like, all right, we're getting rolled. Why are we getting rolled right now? Hit tab, look what they're running, look what you're running, and then determine what needs to be swapped. If they're going heavy dive on you guys, and you guys are running like a stagnant Rein Zarya without like a Lucio, you guys are just gonna get rolled. So maybe be like, hey, we need a Lucio if we're gonna run Brawl, or maybe I can swap to Hog, or maybe I can swap to Brig or Kree and get some stuns, because this monkey is just jumping in every time. He's uncontested, and he's farming us right now. That's the thing about Overwatch. There's always a counter pick to whatever the team's running. Don't just accept a loss when the game just started. I see that also happen too. After they lose like the first fight, I'll see people be like, oh, GG, we lost, and they'll just give up. It's like, no, it's not over yet. Like, keep playing, play better. If you have 7 kills and 14 deaths, there is no way you can blame your teammates right now. Oh, my tanks aren't making space for me. Then do something different. Take off angles, make it work. You need to make it work with any team you have. You're not always gonna get a perfect comp. Even in like GM, there's always gonna be like one tricks that don't play the meta, don't play, you know, what you want them to play. You need to be very adaptive. It's fine if you have one play style that you're really good at and like the most, but you can't rely on your teammates to play around your play style every game. That's what really separates a good Overwatch player from a great one that can make any team comp work. Sure, if you have suggestions, you can tell your teammates, say like, hey, do you think we can get this? Hey, do you think we can have that because they have this? You know what I mean? Make suggestions, but don't be toxic. Don't be like, Ball, you need to swap right now. You need to get off junk grab right now. You're playing like shit. You're doing nothing. That's just toxic. Chances are that guy's gonna be like, you know what? No, I'm not gonna swap because you're being a dick. Sometimes people want to play the heroes they want to play, and you have to just accept that. You can make suggestions, like I said, and then, you know, if you ask nicely, a lot of the times they will swap. So just, you know, be respectful to your teammates and work on your individual play. And if you do want to get better at your role, I do recommend watching live gameplay of top players that play that role. If you're a support and a player, go on Twitch, check out ML7. He's like one of the best Ana players out there. Watch his gameplay. Like, where does he position compared to where do you position? Which targets does he focus on? If you're a Rein player, you know, you can watch Super. How does he play? How does he manage his shield? How does he position? Stuff like that. And I do recommend after your game, if you lost or won, if you have time, go into the replay code and just watch the game. Because sometimes when you're in the game, it's hard to take in everything that you're doing because there's a lot happening. You know, there's fights going on, there's your teammates, their teammates, you. There's a lot to worry about. When you're watching it and you've already played the game, you're kind of watching it from a different perspective. Like, pretend like you're doing a VOD review and you're trying to get this person better, and it's just your video, it's your gameplay, and just try to pick out, you know, a few things that you did wrong in that game and how you can improve. If you do that, you will see improvements. It's like, all right, how did we lose this fight? We killed the Orisa. We should have won this fight. Little did you know the Mercy came in and rezzed right in front of you, and you were busy shooting the Torb. Like, you could say, all right, this is the last fight of the game. I killed this Kree. I made it a 6v5. We should have won. This must be my teammate's fault. What really happened is you killed the Torb, yeah, which is good, and then you turned around and you let their Mercy fly in and res, and then it made it a 6v6. Whereas if you were aware that the enemy team had a Mercy, maybe she would go for a res, so you can keep your eyes on the Mercy and then deny the res, and then maybe even kill her and then make it a 6v4, and then at that point, yes, you probably will win that fight. Just stop blaming your teammates. It's not going to get you anywhere. You're just going to get tilted, and you're just going to keep losing games because you're playing tilted. That's also another thing I don't recommend doing, is playing tilted. Now, my next tip might not be relevant for everybody, but I know it's relevant for me, so I will say it. Do not queue up if you think the W's will not come. There's two factors that determine whether I'm going to win my next game or not. It's A, if I'm in a good mood, because I like to calm a lot and, you know, keep my teammates positive, keep them focused. But, you know, you might not calm as much as I do, which is fine. And then the second one is, am I playing well? This should be something you notice. You know, you're not always going to have insane tracking. Some days you'll be like, wow, I can't miss right now. Other days you'll be like, I can't hit a shot. If you know you're not playing well, I do recommend hopping off, take a break. If you really want to keep playing, you can hop on like an alternate account. With that being said, you do need the practice. You need to be playing frequently if you want to climb. Like, there's some days where I'm playing extremely well, but I've lost like 3 in a row. That's fine. I know the wins are going to start coming. If I'm playing this well, the wins are definitely going to start coming. Just keep that in mind while you're playing. If you know you're playing really well, don't worry if you get a couple losses. The wins will come. If you know you're playing poorly and you're still winning, be careful, because the losses will come, because that will happen as well. You know, you'll win games where you do nothing. You'll be like, wow, I did nothing that game, but we won, so I must have did something well. It's like, no, you got carried. Yeah, like I said before, I didn't want to be too overwhelming with this video. I'll probably make a part 2 or part 1 because there's just so much that I didn't cover. But I just want to throw out some, you know, they're kind of random tips, maybe not tips that you hear every day. So maybe, you know, you can take one of these tips and apply it to your gameplay and, you know, improve in your rank. And if you do, let me know. I would love to hear it. Also, I do VOD reviews, so that's honestly the best way to get better. Every game's different, but they have similar things that happen. You know, you might have some bad habits that you can fix. So yeah, watch your gameplays. If you have a code and you want me to review one of your games, feel free to send me. I'm mainly a tank player, but I did reach top 500 on support last season, and I peaked 3.7 on DPS. I personally believe that's the easiest way to improve, is just to watch actual gameplay and see where you made mistakes. I've done VOD reviews before, and you know, everybody makes different mistakes. Everybody's good at certain things, what got them to that rank, but then they're bad at other things that keep them at that rank. But yeah, I hope some of these tips helped you. If they did or didn't, let me know in the comments. If you're confused or found them not helpful, let me know too. I might just make like 5 videos, like how to get from bronze to silver, how to get silver to gold, how to get gold to platinum, etc. Because every rank plays a little bit different. But these are all good tips, whether you're bronze, whether you're masters. These are all good tips that you can, you know, do to improve your game. So I hope they help. But yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, feel free to like, subscribe, would appreciate it. And yeah, catch y'all later.